We continue now with our coverage of the first day of confirmation hearings for Judge Amy Coney Barrett. Hearings being closely watched for both their content and their tone. Joining me now on Skype to help us take a closer look at this is Vince Coglianese, editorial director at the Daily Caller. Vince, welcome back.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Both parties are using the other's words to make their case. Let's start with the Democrats. They say the president has made clear he wants to dismantle the Affordable Care Act, and he's willing to do that by appointing conservative justices. What do you make of this attempt to link Judge Barrett's nomination to the upcoming court case?
Well, this is all about electoral politics. Democrats are hoping desperately to convince voters to support them and the guy at the top of the ticket, Joe Biden, this November. So they're using a wedge issue to do that, which is health care. So, you know, it's interesting. This sounds like a health care hearing actually playing out on Capitol Hill right now. But instead, what it really is, and is supposed to be, is a confirmation process for Amy Coney Barrett, the judge. And the truth is, she is not supposed to make policy. That's not the point of the United States Supreme Court. As much as Democrats may suggest that that's the case, her job is to faithfully interpret both the law and the Constitution based on how those laws and the Constitution itself are written. And I think that's what we'll hear from her this week.
Republicans brought up previous anti-Catholic comments from Democrats. We did not hear the Democrats talk about Barrett's faith today. And Joe Biden said earlier today it should not be considered. As a Catholic, what's your reaction as you watch all this unfold?
I think it'd be a big mistake if they attack her for her faith, if they attack her for being Catholic, or they try and suggest that anything that's completely within the mainstream of Catholicism is somehow extreme or radical or out of place. That would be a giant mistake for a bunch of reasons, including that election I just referenced. The last thing Democrats want to do is alienate Catholics right now, when it looks like Joe Biden, if you look at the polling, has some advantage among Catholics. They don't want to lose that. They don't want to lose that. So it would be, I think, an unforced error if they attack Amy Coney Barrett for her Catholicism.
Meanwhile, Joe Biden still refuses to answer questions on court packing. In your opinion, what are the implications of that, and could it backfire?
Big time. And this is the reason why he's not answering the question. He's afraid that the risk is much higher by answering it. So here's what he's doing. He's straddling two sides of an interesting fence. On one side, he's got his base, the left, the much more radical left, who wants to see him commit to packing the Supreme Court, adding more justices to the Supreme Court. On the other side, he's concerned that Republican voters and people who voted for Trump, especially in 2016, on the basis of his ability to make a Supreme Court pick, might show up again, that this might help support for Trump. Because packing the Supreme Court literally, quite literally, means just creating an extension of the party of the president who does it. It would be making the court itself not a check and balance as prescribed by our founders, but instead a political body designed to push through anything Democrats pass by way of law, and to ensure that it's protected forever, that the court will be able to make policies that the Democratic Party likes. That's not what the court is for. It's for ruling on these disputes and ensuring that the Constitution is followed faithfully.
Vince, the week is just starting. What will you be watching as this week unfolds, as these hearings unfold?
Those attacks that you just referred to, Democrats have not hesitated to bring out the most vicious and scurrilous at times attacks against some of the president's nominees, particularly for the Supreme Court. I'm on guard for that this week. I really hope it doesn't drop to that level. I hope the argument really is about whether or not she will remain faithful to the Constitution and the laws. But nothing surprises us in 2020. It could stoop to that, so prepare yourself for that. But in the end, I'm looking for this process being complete over the course of the next week, and then a vote on Amy Coney Barrett's confirmation clearing the Judiciary Committee possibly 10 days from now.
Okay, Vince Coglianese, editorial director at the Daily Caller. Thank you for sharing your insights.
Thank you very much.